Greetings nerdy list aficionados and welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. You were all on board the hate train for part 1. You wanted a part 2. I'm Sasha and these are the top 10 superheroes who deserve the hate they get, part 2. Just like last time, let's address some caveats. This will predominantly deal with heroes who are hated in-universe, with a side of fans hating on them too. But to make the list, you have to have gotten some in-universe hate. Credible in-universe hate, not like, oh my god, the one time Superman didn't tip, I hate him. So get ready to defend your faves, and also as always remember, like who you like and don't like who you don't. Let no list sway you. Just like last time, I love some of the people on this list, or just love hating them. Let's get started. Number 10. Galahad from Insufferable. Insufferable is a digital comic from 2012 written by Mark Waid that was meant to showcase the power of digital, that a comic could be digital only and flourish. This did not happen, and it actually did get a trade paperback release. And Insufferable slipped under the radar for many people, and digital in general has plateaued. However, what was it about? Well, it was about a father and son dynamic duo team who had had a massive public falling out, wherein their secret identities were revealed. Galahad was fulfilling the role of Boy Wonder, and used the super identity reveal that he caused to catapult himself to social media fame. Galahad is big on the Twitter. He's on forums, he stays up late arguing with trolls, he lets his dad do the legwork solving crimes, shows up, takes a selfie and claims he did all of it himself on social media, or at least that his dad is old and in the way. He sells merch and gets sponsorship deals, and as you can imagine, eventually he gets a Twitter mob turning against him. This is when he has just run into bad press, and also a bit of a stint of being an ineffectual hero. Galahad is a brat, more concerned with branding himself and stopping crime. For those who see through his facade and call him out, he does deserve some of the hate he gets. Most of it. He's low on the list because he's relatively harmless. More lame than anything else. Number 9. Crackerjack. We're heading back to Astro City. Yes, it's all happening. Crackerjack first appears in Astro City number 5, and it's instantly set up as a hero that others are annoyed with. Flamboyant and flashy, he loves to swoop into a situation and take all the credit, even though sometimes he's more of a hindrance than a help. The thing is, the public likes him. He's gregarious and charming, but behind the scenes it's said that, and I quote, he depends on luck, he is jealous of others, he does sloppy work, he steals credit for the achievements of others. Harsh. No one seems to know who Crackerjack really is. His superhero identity takes up much of his persona. His arc culminates in him being career-endingly injured in the process of teaming up with one of Astro City's enemies to attempt to bolster his failing body, as he was starting to age out of the hero business after being active for over 20 years. Teaming up with an enemy for one's own selfish reasons didn't endear him to all the heroes, though some did understand. He's still the same Ray he always was though, and is working to recover from his injuries with the help of Quarrel, who he still hasn't told his name to. So yeah, does he deserve the hate? Sorta. Kinda. Most of the time. Most of the time lands you at number 9. Number 8. Damian Wayne. Controversial, I know, and I can feel the keys. How dare you. Damian Wayne's the GOAT. Well, here's the thing. Damian Wayne ranges a lot based on how he's written, and in canon there are many who can't stand him, or have to put up with him in a kind of, oh, Damian, what a precocious child, calling women trollops and whores, belittling his father for his own rape, kidnapping Superboy, even though they become good friends, and that was a very cute comic. He takes his father's paranoia to a whole new level, and just in general is rude to everyone. Damian is not as hated as he would be by the other heroes because he is a child, so he gets a lot of leeway and the potential to grow out of it, which he sometimes does until a writer decides to take him back to base. Damian is constantly being forced to learn to get along with others, thanks to his upbringing with Raish and Talia and the League of Assassins. To say he's antisocial would be an understatement, though a lot of it does stem from a place of insecurity. Damian is constantly mean to those around him, no matter how much they help or go to the mat for him. They give him infinite chances though, but for those who give up and give in to the hate, it's not that undeserved. Yes, he's 13, I'm aware. All I'm saying is those futures where he turns out evil, I believe. Still, I hold out hope for good writers and nuanced portrayals. It happens. Let's just stay away from the Damian who tells his father to cover his drink. That's disgusting.
If this trollop provides some carnal release, so be it. But I needn't bring up your past poor choices in women, including but not limited to my mother.
Damien, I'm not...
Not that I'm ungrateful here, mind you. However, I must insist that you use protection. And another thing, cover your drink.
Goodbye, Damien.
Number 7. Emma Frost. Now, Emma Frost started off her comic career as a villain, first debuting in the Uncanny X-Men number 129 back in 1980. She was the White Queen of the Hellfire Club. She eventually would end up joining and leading the X-Men for a bit. Here's the thing, now the X-Men have a better track record at this than other teams, but villains, reformed or otherwise, can be a hard sell for everyone to trust. She is also also just as devious as her other half can be. Her and Cyclops were well matched. She lied about how he died in order for the mutants to declare war on the Inhumans, and while her methods don't always line up with the rest of the X-Men, she even reassumed control of the Hellfire Club in order to fix mutant kind her own way. But now it's House of X, or as some are arguing House of 10, hashtag House of X. We'll see how things shake up. Emma is hated for the lies, for the lack of trust, and her willingness to go back to her old ways and use people to her own end. I love Emma, but some of the hate deserved. Number 6, Omni-Man. We're heading over to Robert Kirkman's indie mega comic Invincible for this number. Omni-Man appears in the first issue of Invincible and is the father of the lead Mark Grayson. Omni-Man is the Superman amalgam of this universe, the hero. He comes from another planet, heralding a mission of peace and prosperity. He married a human woman and had a son, is part of a league of heroes and seeks to keep the world safe, or so it seemed. It turned out in a twist that occurred several issues in that Omni-Man had not been sent to improve the Earth but to conquer it. He bred with an Earth woman to create an heir and equal to help him in his conquest. And when it is revealed, he goes and kills most of the Earth's top tier heroes. This obviously turns the planet's population and the remaining heroes against him, including his own son, who would go on to have quite a complex relationship with him. So yeah, turning on the planet you claimed you were protecting? Hate deserved. Number 5, Professor X. Professor X has veered quite widely from the character he was when he first debuted back in the X-Men #1 back in 1963. Since then, he has amassed a whole host of questionable actions. It's been revealed that he's repressed memories, hidden the sentience of the Danger Room, mind-wiped people like erasing Magneto and creating Onslaught through the activation of the dark portions of his mind, being part of secret clandestine dealings. Over the years, a lot of his students or allies have come to hate him because of the lies and breaches in trust, compounded by the image he presents of himself, which can come across to some people as holier than thou. Xavier now goes by X, as he is Charles's mind and Phantom X's body. This is following some Shadow King shenanigans. Honestly, these betrayals cut deep, and for those who do hate him, it makes sense. No judgment here. Number 4, the Homelander. That's right, the boys. So this applies to comic Homelander and TV series Homelander, who both abuse their power quite a bit in different ways, but heinous ones. The Homelander is an arrogant, self-centered, false hero. He is manipulative, and for those who know who he really is, the hate is deserved. To find out, your heroes are sexual predators, murderers, cold, calculating cynics more interested in making a profit than helping, are untrained and regularly cause deaths because, well, yeah, that's a lot of reasons to hate. And maybe for some to form some kind of secret team to keep an eye on them. The Homelander may be a bit more sympathetic in the series, a tiny bit, just a smidge, but he still deserves most of the hate he gets. Pretty much all of it. Number 3, Cyclops. So a lot of you are quite salty that Cyclops wasn't on part 1, like it was a travesty. So Cyclops, what a journey. Now I like Cyclops, but he is a jerk. But that's part of what makes him interesting, to me at least. Cyclops was one of the original members of the X-Men and the de facto leader for a lot of the points of the team's history. Here's the thing, Cyclops takes an antagonistic approach to leadership. The person you set yourself up against a lot of times rather than the person you are inspired by. This results in him oftentimes being cold and not that empathetic. Add to that his rigidness and desire to please authority figures, and he has a lot of traits people dislike in real life, and it also comes across in the comics. Then as it went on, Cyclops, oh boy, he's gotten pretty dictatorial and sanctioned all kinds of things, is willing to separate kids from parents, and on the whole has just become someone you need to walk on eggshells around. There's a baseline of Cyclops from lots of people within the Marvel universe, and as much as I like him, it makes complete sense. But you need characters like that, it's an interesting contrast. You're definitely not gonna forget Cyclops anytime soon. The fictional world needs a jerk or two. Number 2, Batman. Now I love Batman, many people do, but in universe he has his detractors, especially modern post-identity crisis Batman, which is when canonically you started to see a real shift towards paranoid contingency plan Batman. There have been numerous plots about Batman having a plan to take down his allies. Most notable is Tower of Babel. Everyone else here on staff says Babel, and now I live in a world of uncertainty. Batman is tracking people, friend and foe alike. He will go out of his way to defend his enemies, even the Joker, and this has not endeared him to people. Such as the plot where Batman argued that the Joker shouldn't be executed. How do you think Commissioner Gordon felt about that? Let's not even visit Jason. He's at home flipping a table. Even Nightwing hated him for a while after he fired him from being Robin and replaced him very quickly after with Jason. Guy hates him, one punch and all that. To some of his allies, he's an uptight, paranoid stick in the mud, and they worry that one day he could snap. which he also has a contingency plan for. Batman is complicated, but I'm a sucker for him. What can I say? Give me all the Bat Dad. I'm basic. It's fine. Where's my pumpkin spice? Don't get triggered. Enough of us love Batman to make up for the people in canon who hate him. Number 1, the Plutonian. We're going indie for number 1. We're looking at Irredeemable, an entire series dealing with the breakdown of this title hero. The Plutonian is a dark look at what could have been if Superman had not had the temperament to be a hero, coupled with a series of unfortunate events happening to him, such as revealing his secret identity to his lady love only for her to reject him and spread his identity to the whole world, destroying his life and forcing him even further into isolation. The Plutonian ends up going on a killing spree, destroying the world's heroes and innocents alike. In fact, the title is a hint to the fact that he has become irredeemable. While they do a good job exploring how this all happened, for those who hate Plutonian, it makes perfect sense. He's terrifying. Superhearing was a part of all this. I warned you all about the superhearing. So those were 10 more superheroes who deserve the hate that they get. What do you think? Did we miss anybody? Do you disagree? Please share all of your thoughts down below and let me know some of the heroes that you dislike that other people seem to love. I'm Sasha, thanks so much for watching Top 10 Nerd. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so that you never miss a vid, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye!